stock car racing. A walk on the wild side of sporting events. An adventure in courage. A spectacle of speed and color. An exposition of skill, a liaison with danger. This is all the action you can buy a ticket to. An explosive continuum of sound and fury unmatched in sports. The stock car race. This is the end of a stock car race. An hour of ultimate triumph for one man, of defeat for 50 more. This is the Charlotte World 600. And if stock car racing is a peerless sport, then this is the peerless race. What precedes a single moment of victory is a week-long story of trial and drama that culminates in the running of the toughest race on the circuit. You'll see that story now, as Regal Ride invites you to a command performance of The countenance of stock car racing has many expressions. At the famed Daytona Speedway in Daytona Beach, Florida, it is a test of pure speed. Here the race is always to the swift. 2.5 miles. Mile race. But at Bristol, Virginia, the sport has a different look. Shorter by 5 times, Bristol Speedway is but a half-mile long, and on it, speed must be tempered with agility. Finesse on the short track counts fully as much as brute strength. At Bristol, handling is the key, and only the car with cat-like reflexes can expect to win over the 500-lap distance. The median of the super speedways is represented by Atlanta International Raceway. 1.5 miles asphalt oval, it's long enough to generate very high speeds, short enough to make handling a vital concern. Here, the winner must balance his car's power with its behavior over the 500 miles, a combination that used to be the ultimate. But there is still another ingredient. The one that sets the World 600 apart from all the others. Take the normal, maximum test of automobile and driver, the top-end limit of mechanical endurance and human functional stamina, and you'll have a 500-mile race. Now, stretch that limit by 20%. Add 100 miles, and you'll have the longest, toughest, meanest examination of racing credentials yet devised. The World 600. This is that race. World 600 Day, and a traditional smorgasbord of bands and entertainment spreads the front stretch of Charlotte Motor Speedway. More than 75,000 fans have picked a perfect day for racing. The temperature will go into the 80s under window-pane skies. Perfect from nearly every viewpoint. But drivers and mechanics know from a week of trial that it will cause tire wear to be a great factor. Then the time is at hand. The 44 drivers move their cars down the pit road for the parade lap. In front, Cale Yarborough in a Ford, number 21. With Darrell Derringer, 26, another Ford on the outside. In the second row, David Pearson, Ford number 17 on the inside. Bobby Allison, number 6, a Dodge, outside. The third row, Richard Petty in a Plymouth, 43. And Buddy Baker, Dodge, number 3. Rounding out the first 10 starters are Charlie Glotzbach, Sam McQuagg, and Jim Pascal. Behind the official car, the field accelerates, moving evenly and certainly toward the destiny beyond the starter's flag. The tumultuous climax of the week is now, this moment. At 100 miles an hour, the pace car leaves the track. 44 cars in lockstep precision come out of the fourth turn to the starter. For one instant, time hangs. Then, in an unending explosion of sound, the cars rocket under green silk and the World 600 is on. Yarborough jumps quickly in front, going to the first turn. But with a nifty move inside, David Pearson forces him high on the bank, taking the lead around the second turn. Yarborough retaliates, cutting back inside. He passes Pearson, and so does Darrell Derringer. Derringer rode Yarborough's bumper down the back chute, and they're running 1-2 with Pearson third, Buddy Baker fourth, Richard Petty fifth. One lap done, Yarborough begins to move away. Derringer and Pearson follow as the field unravels behind the leaders. Buddy Baker, car number 3, begins to move on Pearson in third, but the other half of the Baker team is in trouble. Buck Baker spins out of the fourth turn. With a champion's hand, Baker controls the car and continues to the pit. A masterful display of skill by Baker and by his son. Buddy Baker started 6th, and in 10 laps he is moved to 3rd. But pit boss Ray Fox already seems worried about tires. In 20 laps, Buddy Baker is moved to 2nd, ahead of Derringer. With only 21 laps gone, Buddy Baker is in the pit for outside tires. It's a blow for Baker, costing distance he will not recover. Now the leader slows. Yarborough moving to the inside as Derringer takes over the lead. Still less than 30 laps run, and Yarborough gives up the lead to come into the pit for tires. It's a quick stop, but Yarborough will not run in front again today. On the track, Derringer's Ford sets a punishing pace, averaging 152 miles an hour. Pearson is 2nd. Jim Pascal is now moved to 3rd. Richard Petty 4th. Here's the first casualty of the long afternoon. Harmon Holly blows an engine after just 45 miles. It's a tough way to wind up a week of hard work. Misfortune also strikes Buddy Arrington. Arrington wants to pit, but the wayward wheel wants to continue. Now another leader change. Darrell Derringer is coming to the pit for tires. And we have not yet reached the 40-lap mark. The crew, led by Junior Johnson, moves frantically over the car. Back up pit road, David Pearson with a chance to lead, can't take it. He too pits for tires, leaving the number 1 position to Jim Pascal. Track temperature has soared to 145 degrees, and a tire from Pearson's car is grim evidence of the savage punishment this track is dishing out. For the early front-runners, all pre-race plans are out the window. Now the difference between winning and losing is new rubber, and the switch is on. Pascal leading the race now with exactly 10% of the miles behind him. In car 99, Paul Goldsmith has moved to second, then to first, as once again the leader is forced to the pits. A spectacular exhibition of speed and teamwork as Pascal's pit crew leaps to the call. Goldsmith, meanwhile, maintains a 148-mile-an-hour average in Plymouth number 99. And here's action on the back chute. Cale Yarborough, running desperately to get back in the race, hits the wall on the backstretch. And he's in the pit with real trouble this time. The right front corner of the car is ruined. Frantically, the crew attempts repairs. Finally, the fender is pried from the tire. Yarborough actually only brushed the wall, but the shredded tire testifies to the force generated by high speed. Miraculously, Yarborough is able to return to the race, but the car is not handling well. And as Goldsmith continues to lead in the Plymouth, Yarborough brings the Ford once again to the pits, this time going behind the wall, out after 58 laps, an inglorious conclusion for the fastest qualifier. A spin in the second turn. Frank Warren loses the Chevy briefly, but regains control and continues. No caution flag here, but Goldsmith heads to the pit for his first stop. And Jim Pascal, number 14, takes the lead. It's a quick stop for Goldsmith, and he returns to the race in second place. After 100 miles, Pascal, the leader, and Goldsmith second are the only cars in the same lap. But now Goldsmith is beginning to drop off the pace. He appears to have some kind of trouble. As Darrell Derringer passes Goldsmith to take over second, Goldsmith blows, and that's all for the Indiana veteran. Action in front. Roy Main and Bill Champion spin in front of the grandstand, sliding into the first turn infield. The caution flag is out for only the second time. The pace car slowing the field as just about everybody heads for pit road. Under the green flag once again with Pascal still in front and a lap ahead of the field. Now Derringer begins to make his move, passing Pascal to get in the same lap. Derringer is pressing hard, too hard, and he loses it in the fourth turn. Controls the Ford, but in the pit, Junior Johnson has Cale Yarborough standing by to relieve Derringer if necessary. Derringer pits, his engine dangerously hot. Johnson opens the hood and look out, the radiator blows. The hard charge is too much. 26 is out of the race. And for Derringer, a disgusting end to the afternoon. Now Pascal, with the end in sight, has opened a 3-lap lead on Allison, Pearson, and the rest of the field. He's coasting to apparent victory. Then suddenly the entire picture changes. Riding high in the fourth turn, Pascal gets into loose material, hits the wall. He holds the Plymouth, but he's forced to limp all the way around the track to the pit. An unbelievable stroke of bad luck for Pascal. With a 3-lap lead, victory apparently in his pocket, the North Carolina veteran has sustained what may be insurmountable damage to the front end of his car. Stunned at this turn of fortune, Pascal limps into the pit. With less than 100 miles to go, his crew works desperately to get him back in the race and to maintain the lead. With the caution flag out, Pearson makes a pit stop, then returns quickly to the race in third place behind Allison. The caution has slowed the field, but still Pascal sits helplessly as his crew works. 1 lap, then 2 laps go by. Finally, Pascal is back on the track, still in front, but his lead whittled to a single lap, and he's forced to slow his pace when the race is resumed. Allison's crew urges their man on. Both Allison and Pearson are cutting Pascal's lead by 2 seconds on each lap, and Pascal's crew anxiously echoes the gesture, on! Laps to go, Allison has to pit for fuel. Allison is in and out in 10 seconds, but Pearson is now second and closing in on Pascal. Pascal holds tenaciously to the lead, but he has not taken on fuel for nearly 90 miles. Can he finish without a pit stop? His crew says no. With 8 laps to go, they order him in. But Pascal is reluctant. It takes 2 tries before the crew gets him in for one of the fastest pit stops on record, 7 seconds for gas. Close the gap, and now Pearson moves within 10 seconds of the leader. Incredible tension and excitement as destiny pulls the string. Heedless of the damaged front end, Pascal now is running flat out, and still Pearson slowly closes the distance between them. The lead shrinks from 10 seconds to 8, then to 6. But for Pearson, there just aren't enough miles. Jim Pascal wheels the Plymouth off the 4th turn for the last time to take the checkered flag, winner of the World 600. A jubilant crew heralds the victory that is as much theirs as anybody's. Just 5 seconds back, Pearson is second, Bobby Allison is third, 11 seconds behind Pascal. For Pascal, win number 2 in this most challenging of all stock car races. In the victory circle, traditional honor for a tired but oh so happy winner. $29,000 richer, 4.5 hours older. Pascal gratefully accepts the cheers of the fans, rightly due the victor of the world's greatest stock car race, the World 600.